Biotechnology versus allergenicity in children. Abstract. Over the past few decades, scientists have made incredible progress in the research on allergenicity and the use of biotechnology to improve the foods we eat. The goal of this research is to find ways to understand, control, and cure allergenic diseases. With many genetic, lifestyle, and environmental factors to consider, finding a cure will become increasingly difficult, especially for children. Inside this poster, I will explain the research that is being done to find this cure. I will also explain the question, is biotechnology causing an increase in allergens or making them more reactive? Many people also have different opinions about the use of genetic editing and if it is morally correct. In this poster, I will explain how biotechnology has impacted allergens in our world today. Allergenicity in biotechnology. A true food allergy is an abnormal reaction that involves the response of the body's immune system to a certain component in a food or ingredient, usually a protein. There are two main categories of allergens, IgE-mediated and non-IgE-mediated. The more common of the two is IgE-mediated, which involves an immediate and hypersensitivity reaction. This means that there will be an immediate onset of symptoms due to the production of the protein's antibodies. A non-IgE-mediated response takes around 24 hours for the symptoms to surface. Estimates have shown that around 2 to 2.5% of the general population suffer from food allergies, especially infants and children who are more commonly affected by food allergies than the other groups. Biotechnology can be used in this field of allergenicity by possibly eliminating or reducing the allergen in a certain food. This can be accomplished through the various techniques such as gene editing, which can result in hypoallergenic foods. Biotechnology is already being used in plants to make them insect-resistant, herbicide-tolerant, disease-resistant, and climatic-tolerant. Also, biotechnology is being used to enhance consumer benefits such as better taste and texture, longer shelf life, and having a better nutrition. The main reason scientists are invested in this research is due to our growing population. In order to adjust from mass and to keep from mass famine, we must genetically alter our foods to fit our needs. For example, if we could alter crops so that they can grow in a new climate or become more resistant to weather changes, there would be a better yield of that crop, which could have positive influence on many factors in our lives. Statistics. In 2007, the CDC completed research on the prevalence of food allergens in children. In 2007, approximately 3 million children under age 18 years were reported to have a food allergy or digestive allergy in the previous 12 months. From 1997 to 2007, the prevalence of reported food allergy increased 18% among children under age 18 years. Children with food allergy are 2 to 4 times more likely to have other relating conditions such as asthma and other allergies, compared with children without these food allergies. From 2004 to 2006, there were approximately 9,500 hospital discharges per year with a diagnosis related to food allergy among children under age of 18 years. In the studies done by the CDC, it is clear that allergies have an impact on other allergenic conditions such as eczema, asthma, and other respiratory diseases. In 2007, 29% of children with food allergy also have reported asthma compared with 12% of children without food allergy. Also, 27% of children with food allergy had reported eczema or another skin allergy, compared with the 8% of children without these food allergies. Finally, over 30% of children with food allergy also had reported a respiratory allergy, compared with the 9% of children without the food allergy. Included in the study done by the CDC in 2007, the reported food allergy rate among all children younger than 18 years was 18% higher than in 1997. During the 10-year period from 1997 to 2007, food allergy rates increased significantly among both preschool-aged children and older children. As these rates continued to increase, so did the number of hospital discharges with a diagnosis related to a food allergy. As food allergy rates continued to rise, so will the rates of other allergic conditions mentioned before. This in turn will cause an increase in hospitalizations due to food allergies. Questioning. Why is the rate of allergies in children increasing? Is it due to biotechnology? To create hypoallergenic foods through genetic engineering, there must be a transfer of genes from one organism to another. This can mean a hypoallergenic peanut or tree nut, which could be a monumental step in biotechnology. However, it could also mean transferring an allergen to a food without any known allergens. This occurred during the research where scientists transferred a protein from the Brazil nut to soybeans. Experiment. It is known that soybeans have a lack of methionine, and to correct this deficiency, scientists transferred a protein from a Brazil nut to the soybean. Upon further research, it was found that the protein that was transferred to the soybeans was the allergenic protein in Brazil nuts. These soybeans were never commercialized. This is just one example of what could occur through the genetic engineering of allergens. However, the genes being transferred do not usually come from a known allergenic source. This would prevent transferring allergens from one food to another. When proteins are transferred from sources of unknown allergenic potential, it is difficult to assess their allergenicity. Some of these sources include bacteria and other non-food sources. However, it is not likely that these proteins will be allergens, since most proteins in nature do not contain allergenicity. Furthermore, most of these proteins are expressed at very low levels in the genetically engineered food, and allergenic sensitization usually occurs with the major proteins in the foods. Explanation. In conclusion, biotechnology is not the reason allergy rates are on the rise. Since most transferred genes come from non-allergenic sources, it would be impossible for the new food to contain an allergenic protein. If biotechnology isn't the main reason that allergy rates are increasing, then what is? Research suggests that 2 out of 3 children with food allergies do not have a parent with one. At this point in time, we are not sure what is causing the increase in allergies, especially in children. However, there are a few possible explanations. One theory for the increased allergy rates is improved hygiene. Parasitic infections are normally fought by the same mechanisms involved in tackling allergies. With fewer parasites to fight, the immune system turns against things that should be harmless. Another idea is that vitamin D can help our immune system develop a healthy response, making us less susceptible to allergies. Most populations around the world do not get enough vitamin D for several reasons, including spending less time in the sun. In the US, the rate of vitamin D deficiency is thought to have almost doubled in the last decade. A newer dual allergen exposure theory suggests that food allergy development is down to the balance between the timing, close, and form of exposure. It is thought that eating trigger foods during weaning can lead to a healthy response and prevent the allergy developing, because the gut's immune system is prepared to tolerate bacteria and foreign substances such as food. Viewpoints. There are many different opposing viewpoints on genetically editing the food we eat. Some governments in the UK and the EU believe that genetically editing crops is essential to future farming. This is a controversial approach given the constant interaction between farming and the natural world. After all, plants are living things, and many groups wish to regulate the use of genetic editing. The pros of genetic editing far outweigh the few cons. Many improvements can be made toward our everyday lives through the editing of plant genomes. This increasing common way to edit the genomes of plants is through CRISPR. This is a new technology that is extremely safe and a precise way to genetically edit plants and other organisms. Although the general public is not very informed on the topic of genetic engineering, people that do understand the concept generally agree with this technique. The people that disagree see genetic engineering as a way to invade the natural order, although it is essentially speeding up the mutations that would already occur naturally. Conclusion. In conclusion, the increased rates of allergies, especially in children, are not due to biotechnology and genetic editing. In the future, we may see this impact, and hopefully it will be a positive one. We may see hypoallergenic foods in the market soon if experiments, testing, and dealings on the moral issues are completed properly. The main moral issue with genome editing for plants is regulation. If we continue to edit plants, what will come next? Will we change the genomes of animals? What about humans? The question is, where is the line where genetically editing becomes morally incorrect? This question has many different answers, and not one of them is either right or wrong. It is all a matter of your own values and what you believe is right.